But looking at this new crop of House members and senators and where the Tea Party's going, my point is, Congressman, I see it as a victory regardless, because now issues of world government, issues of mega corporations wanting socialism, issues of rhino Republicans, all these things they've tried to demonize and make fun of as hokey, that's now the vanguard, at least on the surface, of Sarah Palin and all these people and Glenn Beck. They've at least got to take on our mantle of real patriots. That shows we're winning the intellectual battle. We're now identifying the private Federal Reserve. So I briefly wanted to, just in 2 or 3 minutes, get your view, Congressman, in closing, on your prognosis of what you see with this new crop of Tea Party people and this fight for the heart and soul of real conservatism that we haven't really seen since the days of Barry Goldwater.
Well, I'm hopeful that we can do a lot more. The Democrats started the last Congress with an 81-seat majority, and when you have an 81-seat majority on the other side, you lose almost every key vote. But I've been speaking out for years against this big government, big business duopoly that's been running this country that benefited just a very few people at the top. And in fact, what I've said for years, the only thing extremely big government is good at is slowly wiping out the middle class. And you can see that all over the world. And so that's what I'm concerned about. And I'm especially concerned about the loss of all the private property in this country, particularly through these land trusts and nature conservancies. I could talk to you about that sometime too, because
Agenda 21. How do we fight that? Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what. People have got to, I hope, wake up and realize that if you do away with private property, that you're doing away not only with a very important part of our freedom, but also a very important part of our prosperity. And also, we keep taking property. More and more property off the tax rolls. At the same time, the schools and the police and so forth are coming to us wanting increased funding, and that just doesn't work. I mean, the federal government now owns or controls over 30% of the land in this country, and state and local governments and quasi-governmental agencies own another or control another 20%. So you've got half the land in some type of public ownership, and that's a problem I guess we could talk about on another day. But
what's your view of the new crop of congressmen?
Well, my view is that it's going to be much better. The only thing, the new leadership in the House has said their goal is to try to cut $100 billion, and maybe that's the best we can do at this point. But if you think about it, $100 billion when we've got a deficit, when we've got a national debt that will reach $14.3 trillion this spring, it's sort of just a drop in the bucket. But we need to do as much as we can. And we had that $862 billion stimulus package that didn't work. A CNN poll said only 7% of the American people felt it had helped them. But the reason was almost all of it, first of all, 41 or 42% had to be borrowed. And then most of it went to federal agencies. The Washington Post said it was going to be a massive windfall for federal agencies, and then to state agencies, where government spends money the least
absolutely
efficient way possible. But thank you for having me on. It's been a real honor and privilege.
Representative John Duncan, have a great Thanksgiving. God bless you. Folks, we'll be back with your phone calls. God bless you, sir. Amazing talking to you. Great patriot there in the 2nd District of Tennessee.